Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How have you found just the basic thing of coming into a studio and doing a live interview?
Well, obviously my stress levels are heightened this morning somewhat because we're on live television and I'm sitting on a sofa that's completely alien to me. I suppose this morning, particularly, I wish there'd been an extended commercial break so I could just come in here and absolutely do a quick recce.
And is it about cleanliness in the sense that you were scanning the sofa to see if it had stains on and stuff? Because that's what triggers your thought process.
Yes, I have this kind of large antennae on my head, Piers, which kind of is receiving information that other people would just discard. I liken it metaphorically, it's a useless metaphor, but like a whale with krill that lets all the krill go through and just keeps hold of the food it needs. Whereas people like myself with OCD, we can't let those thoughts go. So it becomes, I call them my chewing gum thoughts. They kind of get stuck on the inside of my head, and I have to kind of investigate and be forensic about each and every thought, be it a stain or a sharp edge, or is the light off, is the gas off, which is the common ones. But it's checking, it's all encompassing, and it can be exhausting.
And do you fear, because you were very generous when you came into the studio, shook our hands, but do you fear...
I've got a wet wipe in my pocket for after.
Do you fear contamination from touching other people?
Yeah.
So you really have got a wet wipe? I mean, it's not a...
Well, actually, they're in my...
But that kind of thing always, if you shake somebody's hand, you have to go and wipe your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my, my wet wipes go everywhere with me, so it's a world of contamination as far as we're concerned. So, yes, it is tricky. I do think twice about shaking someone's hand.
And do you feel contaminated now that you've done that?
It's not a great feeling. It's just with me. I mean, there are so many people so much worse than me, but I can cope. I can talk and carry on talking with you. But in the back of my head, there is this little white noise, if you like, that is forever saying you're contaminated.
What was the best form of treatment you got? What's the most effective thing that you can be told by somebody, be it a friend, a family member, a therapist, whoever?
Well, I think the first is just to share. That's the first form of treatment, is get it out there. Don't, as I did, keep it as a hidden secret for however many years, 20-odd years. When I was 7 when I was first aware of it, and 35 when I actually was that man who held his hand up and said help. So I'd say the first form of treatment is to talk about it. And there's so much out there, Piers. There's so much information. It's now part of our everyday life, OCD. Back in the 90s, it was considered the dark ages. So as a child of 7, I didn't have a chance.
Can I play devil's advocate with you about something, right?
You always do.
I had a lot of debate about all this over the weekend. You know, one of my sons was a bit OCD, still is a bit. Had he been categorised early on as having some form of illness, my concern as a parent would be that then in itself becomes a bit of a problem. As it turned out, as he got older, he sort of grew out of it and stuff. He was lucky. He's not in your position. And I absolutely respect and take very seriously your condition. But is there a danger that in bracketing almost everybody as potentially having a mental illness, we take attention from those who really need it?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I talk to a lot of parents who are concerned about their children. I think allow yourself that concern. Be aware that there may be peculiarities going on, but do not do too much too soon. Because most children will have, because of hormones, testosterone, everything kicking around, will have a period in their time they will have a bit of OCD, but it doesn't mean you have to press that red button. Be aware of it, ask them gently questions about how they're feeling, because some of them it's known as the secretive disorder. They're very good at disguising it. So there are children out there who are hiding a best-kept secret, but certainly do not go over the top. And in very many cases, your children included, they will grow out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do you think that you will get over it, will grow out of it? Is there a treatment that you think could just break these thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you broached earlier on that there is I've got one now, you see, there's a little fleck of dust. Now, normally that wouldn't bother people, but for me, I obsess about it. Yeah, OCD live on television. CBT. Right. The NHS is a recognised form of treatment today for sufferers. So, and there are CBT practitioners all over the country. So, you know, there's a lot out there.
I mean, the key thing is dialogue is really important. You know, I have a slight issue with some celebrities, not you. I know about your condition, but there's quite a few jumping on bandwagons, I feel, which doesn't help any of this. Everyone's got something wrong with them. But I definitely believe, on a level with your family, your friends, with medical experts and so on, really important just to talk to people. You know, I try and talk to all if I sense a friend has a problem, family member, just talk. Just have that conversation. That's what's really important to me.
And we can we can have that conversation a lot more readily than when I was a child. There was no form of communication. You just had this strange behaviour. But it is out there. But in the same way, it's great that it's now become part of everyday language. But at the same time, let's not trivialise it. People can be destroyed. It can destroy people's lives.
Right.
You're so right. I think it is powerful when people speak out about it openly, and I'm sure that you talking about it this morning will help perhaps somebody at home who feels like it hasn't been recognised and maybe can now put a name to what they're experiencing. We really appreciate you coming in. I know it's a struggle for you, it's a challenge for you.
It's worth coming in for.